there. Today we're gonna have something that I think is gonna be really good. It's the first time I've tried it. It's from vegetarianventures.com and it's pinto bean soup with cornmeal and white cheddar dumplings. Doesn't that sound amazing? I can't wait to eat some. Okay, so let me show you what you gotta have to make this. First of all, olive oil. You can use plain, of course. I've decided I'm gonna use butter flavor. I don't know, I just thought that sounded delicious. This is actually one of my favorite of their oils and probably the one I use the most because it tastes like butter, but it's olive oil. All right, next I'm gonna need a yellow onion, and I have this humongous one. It's a sweet onion, but you just need a regular onion, and I'm not gonna use this whole thing because it's huge. Okay, I'm gonna need some garlic. I got garlic. And I need, right here, some ground cumin. Notice the pinsies. And I need some smoked paprika. Okay, and I need a can of green chili, diced green chilies, you know, one of these little cans. I'm gonna need 1 can of fire roasted diced tomatoes. I've had such a hard time finding these lately. Fire roasted diced tomatoes, but I finally found some. And I need 2 cans of pinto beans. These are organic, made with sea salt. You don't have to have organic, just canned pinto beans, 2 of those. All right, then I'm gonna need some vegetarian broth. I'm gonna use my Chinese vegetarian chicken flavored broth. Okay, and then that's for the soup. Now for the dumplings, I'm gonna need some flour, all-purpose flour. I don't have to show you that, you know what that looks like. So I need 2/3 of a cup of that. I need some cornmeal. I have this yellow cornmeal. It's very good. I need some white cheddar cheese. And there you go. Not a bad deal. This was $4.15 from Trader Joe's. And it's kind of fancy. It's raw milk cheddar cheese. You don't have to have fancy. Anyway, there's the cheese. How much of this do I need? Oh, I just need 1/3 of a cup of this plus some extra to put on top. We'll deal with that later. We need some baking powder and baking soda. Some salt, and I've got my Himalayan salt that I still am using, and some whole milk. I don't usually drink whole milk, although every now and then I'll have a little bit, but Marty likes it, so I have some. And it calls for whole milk. And some olive oil in the dumplings too. And I'll just use the same butter, but you could use plain. Or, you know, there are some other ones that would be good. So we're gonna start off with the soup. Since we're using canned vegetables for the most part, I don't have a whole lot of prep to do for the ingredients, the vegetables anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and heat the oil and chop up the onions, because really all I have to do is chop onions and crush the garlic. So I'll get the oil heating in the pan, go chop up the onions, put them in, and while they're cooking, I'll get the garlic ready. That's the plan. So here's my Dutch oven. I just need a tablespoon of olive oil. So that's a tablespoon. Remember, I know that this is a tablespoon because I've measured. So I think I mentioned that on an earlier video. But if you haven't seen it, this is a tablespoon. If you want to use your big spoons like that, then check it out and see if it's the same. All right, put that on like a medium. And we're gonna come on over here, come back over here, and cut up this onion. So like I said before, the recipe calls for 1 yellow onion, but this is a giant one. So I'm going to use maybe 3/4. I mean, I could use the whole thing. That's just an awful lot. This is a mild onion. So you might remember, cut off the stem. I'm gonna barely cut off the root end, just right there, because I really want to keep that core in there. You'll see why. Okay. Cut it in half. And maybe, yeah, I'll just cook 3/4. So, this is an easy way to peel. Well, it's supposed to be easy. Okay, there's that. And we'll peel this part. Yeah, this one's not too bad. Okay. There's a little bit of kind of dried onion. I'm going to cut that away. Okay, so we got it like this. And this will help you to hold on to, you know, all the layers while you're cutting. Well, maybe not all, because I'm going to do this on the end. But now I'm going to just go a little shy of the end, so maybe it holds together better. And then get the rest. And this time, I'm just going to cut it this way. Some pieces will be larger than others, but it's okay because actually, this is going to end up in the blender. Spoiler alert. Okay. So this I'll just chop. And there's that. And then this one. Okay, by now, I'm sure the oil is hot, so let's go on over there. And it is. And I know, I'm just scattering onions everywhere. Right there. And there's some on the floor, but I'll pick it up in a little bit. Okay. Cover that up. And let's go back and take care of our garlic. Get it ready. And I get to use my new garlic press. Ta-da! All right. But anyway, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna get rid of that noise. You might wonder, what is that noise when I move? It's this bunch of bowls. Okay, no more of that racket. Okay, I don't know how long this has been, but I don't think it's 5 minutes. Nah. I'm gonna cook it a little bit longer. Maybe just a couple more minutes. While I'm waiting for the onion to cook, I'm gonna go ahead and get my pinto beans ready. I need to drain them and rinse them. So, 2 cans. I've opened them. There's one. There's a bean down there. Yep. And here's another one. Okay. Now we rinse. Now I'm just going to let that drain, and it's time to check on that onion. So let's go have a look. Yep. So you're supposed to cook it until it's soft, and the onion looks soft to me now. Let's give you a better look. Yeah. Okay, so it's time to put in the garlic. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this in because, like I said, it's gonna be blended. So there's that. There's this. See, pretty cool, huh? I like my new tool. I want to get as much out of it as I can. Okay, and I have some little bit on my board here, so I'm going to take that. Scrape that. Give it a stir. Cook that for like 30 seconds is all. And then I'm going to put in my spices. So here's my cumin. And we love cumin. Just the smell of it is so wonderful. So a teaspoon. Okay, that's a little more than a teaspoon, but that's okay because we love this. Teaspoon of cumin. And a teaspoon of paprika. Smoked paprika. There's a difference. Okay, stir that up. Oh, now it's starting to smell really good. And cook that for just a few seconds. All right, so that cooked for a short time. You only need like 30 seconds. So now I'm going to take this can of green chilies, and I'm going to put this in here with the liquid and all. And I'm going to stir it around to deglaze the bottom, which just means those places, you know, that are kind of cooked to the pan. I want to loosen them up. But not for long. I'm gonna put in the fire roasted tomatoes. Put those in. Yum, that really is fire roasted. Okay, so there's that, and I need 2 cups of broth. So for me, that means 2 cups of water plus my powdered chicken flavoring. So I'm gonna pour this in a can just to get all the goodness out. And then the rest. And that was 2 cups, so I don't know, maybe 2 almost spoons of the powder, because I'm always afraid this is going to be too salty. I won't put that away just yet. Okay, there we go. Now I need to set aside a 1/2 cup of pinto beans. So I'll just get a 1/2 cup here. That's about a 1/2 cup. And I'm going to put the rest of it in with the rest of the soup. Just dump that in and stir it up. Okay. And then, I don't know, I have to check my recipe. A teaspoon of salt. So you know what I'm gonna do? Since it calls for a teaspoon of salt, and I really like this this salty chicken flavoring, so I think I'm gonna add just a tiny little bit more of that instead of salt. Just a little more. Okay. I often use that in place of salt. Okay, there we go. Okay, once we've got all those things in here, I'm going to put the lid on so it cooks faster. I'm going to turn this up to high until this starts boiling, and then I'm going to turn it on to a medium-low and set the timer for 25 minutes. But first, let's get this thing boiling. It won't take long. And it's boiling. So I'm gonna give it a little stir. Put the lid back on, turn it down to medium-high, and set the timer for 25 minutes. Okay, now the dumplings, okay. Short memory. Okay, so here's, this cheese is so delicious. I cut off a little piece and ate it. Yum. If you want to know what it is, let's look again. This Trader Joe, low milk, I'm reading it backwards, cheddar cheese. Okay, anyway, that's good stuff. I just decided I'm going to use my salad shooter to shred this cheese. You can use anything, you know, if there's box shredders, that works fine for cheese. But I've got this salad shooter, and I'm in the mood to use this. If you look inside there, you see it's got the shredding tool in there. So it's very easy, kind of loud. Let's see, I think this will fit right in there. Oh yeah, it will. So I'm just gonna put this in here. Cover your ears. Turn it on. Here we go. And there you have it. I just need 1/3 of a cup. So I'm gonna pack it because I want as much as I can get. It's gonna be good. And I'll just put this in. Actually, no. Let's do it right. I'll put this in here. Okay. Because I need a 1/3 cup of cornmeal and 2/3 cup flour, so I may as well put that in. Here's a 1/3 cup of cornmeal and 2/3 of flour. 1, 2. Okay. I need 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. So there's 1 1/4. And then I need a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. So here's my baking soda. That's a 1/2. And okay. I'm gonna stir that up with a fork. It says I'm supposed to whisk it, but with that cheese, I think it's going to be hard to whisk. Let's see. Now I'm going to need 1/2 cup of milk. Not whisk it. Okay. Half cup milk and a tablespoon of olive oil. And I think that butter olive oil is going to be really good in this. All right, while I'm using these, I may as well, go ahead and use this. Did that make sense? While I'm using these, I may as well use this. It's a visual. Okay. And we're just going to mix that up. So we're going to keep mixing it until it's all mixed and there's no dry ingredients. And a fork is doing just fine. Okay. So now we're going to set that aside. I just realized that I do have a little bit more to do to prepare produce. And that's for toppings to put on the soup. Now this is optional stuff, but you can put on top, you can put some cilantro, fresh cilantro, which is what I'm going to cut. And also some halved cherry tomatoes, which I'm also going to use. You could put slices of radish. I didn't buy radish because I'm not a big fan. Sour cream. We've got some extra cheese. Actually, I shredded some more cheese to put on top. Let's see. What else? Oh, you could use lime wedges, except I don't have any limes. And you can also use tortilla chips. And I got some tortilla chips to put on top of the soup. So let's get this done. I washed the cilantro and wrapped it in a towel and dried it. So I'm just gonna go with it like this. I feel kind of rushed. So I'm just gonna chop some, and yeah, there's gonna be some stems, but whatever. So I'm gonna just put this in this little bowl. Oh, wait, actually, looks like I missed some. Okay. So it'll be handy. And because I need to use my board again. All right. And then I have some cherry tomatoes. Actually, they're grape tomatoes, but who cares? I rinsed them. Now I need to dry them. Just put them in a towel. Dry them. Okay. And now I just need to cut them in half. This is for toppings. There, one got away. And I'm just going to put it back in this container after I dry it. Okay. Just cut them in half, if this is what you want to use. Okay, the soup is done up to this point. Now, I'm going to put this here. I haven't even looked. Yummy. I'm going to turn it off for now. And what I'm going to do, I have this huge ladle. I really love my huge ladle. I'm going to ladle some of this at a time into my blender container. And you can't see a thing. So, I'll do this. There's the blender. Okay, so ultimately I'm gonna blend the whole thing. Now, you could use an immersion blender. That's what the recipe suggests. Or, food processor, but I think a blender is going to work best. And you know what? Since I have this large blender, it looks like I can get all of this in one go, and that's going to be wonderful because that'll mean one less dish I have to wash. So I'm going to dump the rest of this in here and blend it, and then I'll show you what's next. Anna, if you get one of these iron Dutch ovens, you might need some help in dumping. Remember, it's 15 pounds just for that pot. Just a reminder, a third hand comes in really handy. But you can be clever, you're clever, and you'll be able to do it. Just get that stuff in the blender. Okay, so I've blended it up, and here it is. Well, here's the pan. And here's my soup. I'm going to get something to scrape all that goodness out, like this. My blender is a Ninja, and this part is a really dangerous part, so I never touch these blades with my hands because I don't like getting cut. I'm just saying. I clean it with a brush. I'm not saying this is the best blender. I don't actually know. But it's pretty good. It's just dangerous. especially when you're washing it. Okay, put that in the sink. But, well, anyway. And then this goes in here, back in the pot. All right. So I need to add another cup of broth. So water and broth. And remember that half cup of pinto beans? I'm gonna put them in now. Okay, stir that all up. Kitchen sure smells good. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on a medium-low, and I want to cook it until it's simmering. Who knows how long that's gonna be. The recipe says I should whisk it often, so okay, I will whisk it often. What is that? Oh, that's a piece of tomato. Okay, I'll let you see what happens when it simmers. Cooking at a medium-low heat makes it really hard to get a simmer, as you can see. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit, like almost to medium. And I'm going to put the dumplings in. So here's how we do it. Here's the dumplings. We're going to take tablespoons at a time and drop them in. So that's kind of a little, that's like a heaping tablespoon. Just drop it in. Okay, do that with the whole thing, and then we'll see what comes next. Okay, I have them all dropped in there. Got a little bit better simmer going. So I'm gonna put the lid on, and I'm gonna cook it for 7 to 10 minutes until the dumplings are completely done. If it starts boiling, you know, too much, then turn the heat down just a little bit, or you could just tilt the top like that. But actually, no, just turn it down. It's better to keep it on because you need to steam those dumplings and cook them. 7 to 10 minutes. It has been 7 minutes, and are you ready for this? Ta-da! Doesn't that look amazing? Now, how can we tell if they're done? Ah, that one's oozing. That means it's not done. I'm gonna give it 3 more minutes. Okay, 3 more minutes and that looks great. So what I'm gonna do, I've turned off the heat, and I'm going to serve this up in some bowls with my toppings, which are going to be cilantro, more cheese. This is such amazing cheese. Sour cream, and halves of these tomatoes, and also some tortilla chips. It's gonna be delicious, I'm sure.